Okay, so we are live. If anybody's on, let me know you're there and let me know where you're watching from today. Love to hear from you. Going to give people, I'm a little early, so I'm going to give people time to get on. All right, I see my man Jacob is on. Hey, Jacob. Hey, Missy. Hey, Rosalie. Steve Caldwell. Hey, Kelly. Brett. Todd. Hey, Todd. Also, I'm going to give people just a couple of minutes if you don't mind. I do like to start on time on just about anything I do, but sometimes with this stuff, it takes people a little while. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. David Norris, hello. Christine Morgan, glad you could make it. Hey, Krista Lee, Todd. Hi, everybody. Sound good? Awesome. Thank you. Thanks. All right, so I just titled this a little while ago, Let's Make Goals Great Again. So that is not a political statement. If you follow me, most of you know where I stand on that anyway, but that's not important. Hey, Jerry. Hey, Dave. Dave Gamble, thanks for your help. And you pushed me a little bit to get to this day. So welcome and thanks for everybody for, once again for, hey, just being my friend. I love you all. And I think you all know that. I waited a long time to do this, and I have my reasons, so I'm going to tell you. First of all, I'm not a big fan of doing video. First of all, I've been a little shy about doing video. I don't mind being on a stage and having somebody filming me from a ways away, but I don't like the camera in my face. So I'm coming out of my comfort zone today. But the bigger reason is that about 6 or 7 years ago, I had a life-changing event happen to me, and some of you know that. It's not important what it was. But it made me change my ways a bit. And I want to share a little of that with you before we get into the meat of this. It made me change, I guess, my purpose, why I was doing things in life, why I was setting goals, why I was hitting my goals, why I was missing some of my goals, why things in my life were not always going the way I wanted them to go. And when I changed my purpose after that incident, I started doing things for different reasons. And hey, look, there's a lot of people in this business, and this Facebook Live thing is blown up. I mean, everybody can do a Facebook Live now. Any coach, speaker, author, any business owner, anybody can do it, right? And as good of a salesperson as I am, I'm just going to tell you something right out of the gate. I'm not going to try to sell you anything today. Here's what I'm going to try to give you, a little wisdom, right? That I get from a lot of people. I've got a call with one of my mentors tomorrow, and I get wisdom every time I speak to him. And so first of all, and I'm going to get back to what I was saying here, but if you did not get my blog today, I recommend you go to the site livingthelead.com/blog. And the blog today is a free ebook on a playbook for setting and achieving goals. Now, you don't have to have it for this call, but there's also that's an ebook, but there's also a bonus in there, and this is my monthly goals worksheet. So any of my clients that I work with, they know all about that. So get that. It's free on me. Hey, look, if I can help you with any of it, I am. My heart's into what I do for a living. My number one value is no longer money, and that's changed a lot for me. And so I'm getting back to what I was saying, is that there's a lot of people that do these things, and we do them for different reasons. And I wanted to make sure my reason was really crisp and clean before I did it. And my reason for doing this today is, hey, look, it's the end of the year, right? And most people, while they may not write down their goals, or they may not even set goals, they're thinking about doing something different, changing something, cutting a bad habit, starting a new habit, something. And I want to be of a help to you because I've got a lot of years of successes and failures in it all. And I see some old friends on here, so me for a long time, some of you. And thanks for joining. I appreciate your friendship, and like I said, I love to all of you for being on here, and thanks for all the thumbs up and the hearts. But my reason I want to be crisp and clear on it, and it is because I want to help people. Do I make money in my business? Absolutely. Am I a very blessed man every single day of my life, even on my bad days? And so, here's what I find. I find that a lot of people in my industry get you onto these things and get you into their pipeline and get you getting a monthly blog or something from them. And the goal really, I don't feel, is always to help you. The goal is to sell you something. And, would I love to coach more people? Yeah, I love what I do. Would I love to sell you something? Yeah, you want to buy a book, that's fine, but I'm not really selling anything to you. Okay, what I'm selling to you today is you. You. Because some of you, I've talked to some of you, I know some of you I don't know. Thanks for joining. For those that I have not met, let's meet. But I want to help you. And what some of these people set you up for that I will not set you up for is, everybody talks about, reach for the stars. Reach for the stars. And here's what I found out with all my years of me trying to hit goals, but also my 11 years now in this coaching industry, is that we cannot reach for the stars with short arms. We can't. If our arms are short, we can't reach for the stars. And see, coaching stretches our arms. And so any of my clients that are on here, really the first 3 or 4 months we even talk or meet, we really don't even set big goals. We talk about self-awareness and understanding where you need to be stretched, where you want to be stretched, right? And so as we go through this call today and you think about some of the things you want to do next year, and I want you to, I love that you follow me. And boy, I'd like to do more with you and talk to them. And you know what? Hopefully I'm going to do the next one from the beach. I'm coming to you from my Charlotte / Davidson, North Carolina condo. But maybe next week I'll do one from the beach. But I want you to think about charting your own path. Because I know some of us, and I've been guilty of this in the past, we follow these people and we help them hit our goals. And their promise is, I have everything you need to hit your goals, but it doesn't happen. And so I want you to put it back in your hands, and I want to help you. And so what I'm saying is, are you ready to really chart your own path? And I'm not saying, I see this in a lot of companies and a lot of people, that sometimes we're not guilty of setting goals too high and missing. We're guilty of setting goals too low and hitting. And if you've been following me lately on Facebook, there's a reason why I have been stepping and posting my steps, right? And this is what I want to teach you today. You see, when we shoot for the stars, we're setting the ceiling, okay? But what if you dreamt that big, whatever that number is, whatever that habit is, whatever you want to create, whatever that big goal is for you, great, set it. But you don't have to reach for it until we get your arms longer, until you're totally stretched to where you need to be to do it. And that's why I call what I do setting irreducible minimums. So I did that example because it's exercise, weight loss, things like that are always people's New Year's resolutions, right? And so it's easy for people to understand that. But if you've been following me on Facebook, I've been putting a hashtag at 100K per week minimum. Now that's 100,000 steps per week minimum. Since I have been doing that, I have not had less than 125,000 steps a week. Okay. Now my big goal is 140 a week. Okay. But I will not ever go below 100,000 steps per week. That is my irreducible minimum. I cannot go below it. I will not reduce it. It doesn't matter if I'm traveling. It doesn't matter if I'm sick. It doesn't matter if it's raining out or sleeting out or snowing out. God, I hope it doesn't. But it doesn't matter. I will not go below that. Last week I was 141% of that goal. I already know this week, unless I break a leg or something, I'm going to blow that away because I did 32,000 steps yesterday. Okay? My point is not about me stepping, and I know a lot of people think I was bragging and showing off. No, that's not what it is. It's setting an example on how to set goals the proper way. Dream big, but set yourself floors that you will never accept going below. So it's not a should. I used to follow Tony Robbins a lot early in my career. And Tony says this every year. People make this list of things they should do, like New Year's resolutions. You know, I should lose weight. I should read more books. I should increase my revenue. I should spend more time with my family. And what most people do is should all over themselves. But see, in the irreducible minimal world, see, my clients make a list of musts, M-U-S-T-S. What must I do, and what's the minimum amount of activity? And it really makes life so much easier for you, and you can win every single day. Win every single day. And who doesn't want to win every single day? I mean, think about this. You've had a bad day. I know you have. If you're like me, you've had bad days. But think about last bad day you had. That if you had set irreducible minimums for, let's just say, 5 things in your life, and you hit all 5 of those irreducible minimums that day, you still go to bed a winner. And I don't know about you, but I sleep a whole lot better when I go to bed a winner. And so if you're ready to chart your path, irreducible minimums is the way to do it. But you got to ask yourself a couple of things. You got to ask yourself, what am I willing to do? What am I willing to do? Because oftentimes people set goals and they're really not willing to do them. It may be a goal that society thinks we should set. It may be other people in your industry are setting those kind of goals. It may be a coach or mentor is driving you to set those kind of goals, but you have to be willing to do it. And will is an interesting word, right? I mean, it takes a lot of will to do certain things. There's people that say, God, how did you walk 20,000 steps? How do you walk 130,000 steps a week? I go, I don't know about you, but I just get up and say, I put one step in front of the other. And I walk everywhere possible. Everywhere possible. I was walking to the post office today and I saw someone and he was coming out of a restaurant, shook my hand and said, hey, how you doing? I hadn't seen him in a month or so. He's a local person I know. And he said, oh, out getting your steps, huh? And see, people know what I'm doing. And that's why I've been posting it, because I want to help you set irreducible minimums, because nothing would make me happier than all 26 of you that are on this call right now, 28, thank you, if you hit your irreducible minimums. If you hit your irreducible minimums, you will be a winner every single day. Don't set them up at the ceiling, okay? Create a floor for yourself. But be willing to do what you commit to say you're going to do. And you've seen me post the SMART goals. You've seen my whiteboard with the SMART goals on it, right? You got to be specific. Your goals got to be something you can measure, or I can measure, or somebody else can measure. Your accountability partner, I highly recommend you have one. They got to be really attainable. Can I attain it? You know, hey, can I attain 100,000 steps a week? I can. I knew I could. I knew I could do more. Is it realistic? You know, is your goal realistic? Only you know if it's going to be realistic. And the bigger part is can we time and track it? And so I see people set goals sometimes of, you know, I want to be more fit. That's not a goal. You know, a goal is I'm going to go to the gym 5 times a week for an hour and I'm going to do this. Is that specific? Is it measurable? Is it attainable? Is it realistic? And can it be timed and tracked? Yeah, it can if it's realistic for you. And so SMART goals are important. And you know, the other thing I want to talk about are wiring, right? We're all wired. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen a video where the guy's a pastor and he's got the 2 ceramic heads on the stage, and he talks about the way men and women are wired differently. It's hilarious. I can't think of his name, but it's out there on YouTube somewhere. It's hilarious. I saw it years ago. It's still out there because I've seen it recently. But we're all wired differently. But here's what I know. Every single one of us is wired to win. Every single one of us is wired to win. The problem there is sometimes we define win as being comfortable. You know, I had lunch with someone today. I've been trying to have lunch with for months. It's kind of, you know, those holiday weeks. I'm not too busy, and I've got some coaching calls, but I'm not traveling too much, and so I'm catching up with people. And this gentleman had recommended me for a speaking engagement, which I got. And so I said, hey, I want to take you to lunch and thank you and pick your brain a little bit, blah, blah, blah. It was a great lunch. And he said something to me about, I met him at the gym years ago. And he goes to the gym sometimes twice a day. And he owns a business, great leader. And, he said something about, no one goes to the gym to be comfortable, do they? No one goes to the gym to be comfortable, do you? Because we were talking about people complaining about the quality of gyms and all that. And I'm like, I don't care about the quality of gym, man. Just give me a clean bench and some dumbbells and let me go at it and give me some cardio equipment. I'm happy, okay? Because I don't go to the gym to be comfortable. So we should not set goals to be comfortable because then we're not winning. We're only going to win if we set stretch goals for ourselves. And so we all are wired to win. But you really got to look at you got to stretch yourselves, like I was talking before. And so, we are what we do. We are what we do, And so I want to, for the folks that just came on, if you didn't get my blog today, you don't have to do it now, but go to livingtolead.com/blog. The blog that went out today has got a brand new free ebook. Okay, and it's my playbook for setting and achieving goals. I think you'll like it. So you can download it right there and have it right away. And it's also got my goal sheet, my monthly goal sheet that I use with my clients. You can have it all free of charge. Yes, you're going to have to give me your first name and your email address. I'm not going to lie to you, but I don't spam people. At most, you'll get a blog from me a couple times a month, which I hardly ever sell anything on. I want to be your friend. I want to help you. And you know what happens when that happens? When someone needs help, they come to me. And that's just the way I work my business. And so, so you are what you do. You are what you do. And so, I've been blessed in a lot of ways. And hey, look, and I've had some hard challenges in my life. But I've always been goal-oriented. Now, so at 45, you know I'm 55 now. So I qualified for one of those neighborhoods this year, but I'm not in one yet. But at 45, I set a goal to be completely debt-free. Now, there are a lot of people that say you're debt-free if you have mortgages. I don't agree with that. I owned multiple homes at that time. I had mortgages on some I didn't, and all that. Never been a big credit card debt person. I was born pretty poor, so cash is king to me. But I wanted to be completely debt-free by 50. Well, I didn't hit it till 51. But I didn't stop going after that goal at 50. You see, I could have hit that goal at 50. But I didn't want to sell a property until I thought it was at full value, and the market, the market was coming back, and so I waited. But I could have hit that goal and celebrated and bragged about it on Facebook and all that, but I didn't. I waited, and then it became debt free, and then I set another goal of, hey, you know what? I want to spend more time at the beach. I want to spend more time at the beach, so I bought a beach place, still debt free. And what do? Those of you that follow me, I see people all the time, they go, how come you're not at the beach? And so it's taking those little steps to do those things, okay? It's also following people that actually hit some of these goals that you want to hit. You see, I don't have a goal. I've never had a goal of having my own jet. I'm just not one of those people. I'm comfortable. I like what I have. I like my life. I like what I get to do, and I pretty much get to do whatever I want to do. And so I don't have to have that, and I don't have the biggest house in Hilton Head on the beach, and I don't have the nicest place where I live in Davidson. It's just not my style. But we are what we do, so we've got to be authentic. Authentic is the word. And then you got to go after your goals. And people that know me, and if you've read my book, you know that I didn't start. The first chapter originally was going to be on vision, and then I remembered that most people don't get past the first chapter, so I wrote the first chapter on perseverance, in hoping that reading the chapter on perseverance, people would read the whole book. And I think it worked for in some ways. But you can get a free chapter of my book. I'm giving away the first free chapter on perseverance right now on the website. You can see that there too. But perseverance is important. And see, one thing about me is I'm relentless. Relentless. So what are you willing to get relentless at next year? As you sum up this year and you celebrate your goals and you looked at where maybe you didn't hit your goals or where you failed this year, what are you willing to do differently? And so I'm going to suggest to you the irreducible minimal system, okay? Growth does not just happen, okay? Growth does not just happen. You can win every single day with this system. Another tip, and some of my clients that are on here will tell you, is that try basing goals based on your values. Try basing goals on your values. You know, figure out what's the top 5 important values to you, right? What's your top 5 important values? You know, if you follow me on Facebook or social media, you probably can already know my top 2 values. Faith and health. I post something about those 2 things every single day, right? And so I have a goal on faith for every single day. I have a goal on health for every single day. My 3rd value is accountability. I have a goal of accountability every single day. My 4th goal is integrity. I have a goal of integrity every single day. And my 5th value is leadership. And I have a goal to lead every single day, which is the next thing I want to talk to you about. Now, I'm not doing a big leadership one here. We're not going to be on here much longer, but the next one I really want to dedicate to leadership. If the audience wants that, I would love to do it. But you know, something about leadership, and those of you that I've coached with, you know that the first couple of months we spend a lot of time on self-awareness, right? And that's really to humble ourselves. Because, and as I wrote in my book, I go, you know, you have to be humble to be a leader. If you're in charge or you're running a business or a division or a company and you're not humble, you're a boss. Sorry, it's that simple. And so we got to be humble. But humility is about not just sharing things with people. Like, we think, this world sometimes thinks, well, you know, I'm humble if I share my stories. Okay, well, that's part of it. If the stories are real, but being humble is about really knowing who you are. Knowing who you are, right? Knowing who you are, what you are, how you are. That's humility. And it's really the first step in really taking the leadership journey. As I go up my leadership ladder, that's humility is the first step on the ladder. You know, and this goes into goal setting as a leader too. It's then, what am I hungry for? What do I want? What do I really, really want as a leader, as a person, as a community leader, as a business owner, as an executive, as a parent, whatever, as a partner, whatever that is? What am I hungry for? What do I really, really want? And then you set those irreducible minimums to get that. But then you got to hustle. Then you got to really, really hustle. Because nothing comes easy, does it? Look at all the great things you have in your life right now. Did any of that come easy? Did anybody give it to you? No. Chances are no. No. That's not the way the world works. We got to go out and get what we want. And so this irreducible minimum system, I'm not trying to sell it to you. It's free. You just set a floor for your goals. You will never go below them. And you know what? So today has been a rainy day. I think I'm at about, I've taken only, let's see. I've taken exactly 8,900 steps, which is 4.06 miles for me. And so I'm way off my average of 20,000. But I'll tell you, I bet I get 15 today because I will not go to bed if it's less than $10,000, 10,000 steps, because that's my irreducible minimum. And so that's being relentless. You know, so if it was 9 o'clock tonight and I only had 9,000 steps, I'd have to go outside and do some stepping. And it's that easy sometimes. And so I'd love to take some questions. Doug, thanks for joining. Dan Green, thanks for joining. Wendy, thanks. Heidi, hey Heidi. Say hi to Heidi. Heidi's one of the coaches on my team, which one of my goals of this year is adding more coaches to my team. So you can go to, if you didn't get my today's blog, I want to remind the people that are just getting on, you can go to my website, livingtolead.com/blog. Today's blog, you get a free playbook for setting and achieving goals, and you get this free worksheet that I use with all my clients. They love it. But I'd love to take any questions. If anybody has any questions, just type it in there. Thanks, Dan. Go ahead and ask me a question. Hey, Gary. Oh, come on. Somebody wants to ask me something. Let me help you make your goals great again. How about that? Who wants me to help them make their goals great again? Don't be shy. Hey, Carl. Great to see you last night, man. Yeah, it's a great time of year when you get to see people. Sometimes you only get to see one time a year, but Carl, it's great to see you. Any questions? Come on, ask me something. You can stump the coach if you want. You can try to stump me. So what about a goal you're going to set for yourself this year? And so until I get a question, I'm going to go into one other thing that I did want to talk about. And so I think he's still he doesn't have to out himself, but one of my clients that was on this call, he may still be on this call, I had a face-to-face meeting with, and he shared with me, he kind of came clean with me on something, and it had to do with a snooze alarm. You know those things on your alarm clock? And so right now he's smiling because he goes, you're telling my story again. But, you know, he was telling me how, you know, he'd set his clock real early in the morning with these intentions of getting up and worshiping and exercising and doing all these things, but he just kept hitting the snooze alarm. Now, he's a man of faith. I've known him quite a while, been coaching him in his business for quite a while. And so after listening to him come clean, I said, you know what that snooze alarm is? That snooze alarm, every time you hit it, you make the devil smile. He won every single time he hit that snooze alarm. Now that was, I want to say 3 or 4 months. I've talked to him last week. He has not hit the snooze alarm since then. So I'm going to ask you today, what's your snooze alarm? What's your snooze alarm? We all have one. What's yours? Think about it. Rapping Ray. What's up, Ray? Good to have you on here, man. He still calls me Ice. Yeah, I was my nickname, you know, last name Ferguson. I worked at an ice plant as a kid. My nickname was Ice Ferg, so I'm being humble again, right? Ice Ice Baby was my song. Tony, what's up? So yeah, so Raymond and Tony, man, I've known those guys since 40 years, right? Thanks for joining, guys. Tim, thanks for joining. I'm taking questions, so come on, somebody give me a question. Type in a question. Something. All right. Hey, Kevin, Robert, Lily, hey. I'm taking questions. If anybody wants to ask anything, come on. I won't mention your name, although everybody can see who asked the question. We were talking about making goals great again, and I'll recap a little bit for some people that just joined in case anybody's thinking of asking me a question, and I'll just watch the screen to see if there are any. So Vicky says, my snooze alarm is playing games on my iPad first thing in the morning. So Vicky, what else could you do on that iPad in the morning that would tap into one of your values? That's a question I always ask you if I was coaching you. So there are some questions. How to set those baby steps, Marlene. So, I think you have to set what you really want first. So I talked about, what are you hungry for, right? What are you hungry for? And then what are you willing to do? So in essence, I'm willing to walk 10,000 steps a day. I'm willing to make 3 calls to associations a day to get speaking engagements or to talk about speaking engagements. And so it's that simple. Don't make it hard on yourself. Goal setting should be easy. Goal setting should be easy. Brian, yes, the worksheet is part of the download. It's actually part of the blog. There's 2 links in there, I believe. So can I share my top goals for 2018? Interesting. I had a conversation with my coach and also my virtual business manager today, And we are really laser focusing for next year. Laser focusing for next year. So some of you know that I'm building a coaching team now. And so that's one of my big priorities for next year. Another priority for mine next year is, believe it or not, is to not travel as much as I'm traveling. And so I'm focusing more of my business regionally now in the Charlotte and North and South Carolina. It doesn't mean I'm not going to do business elsewhere. It doesn't mean I'm not going to phone coach people in Singapore and Japan and Europe and all that. But from a travel standpoint and seeing people eyeball to eyeball, I'm just trying to cut it back a little bit. Am I trying to reduce my business revenue or the size of my business? No, I'm just kind of refocusing. And I'm also mentoring some of the coaches that are joining my team and helping them grow their part of the business at the same time, which is something I'm very passionate about. Bill, I've got some fitness goals and I've got some spiritual goals and things like that. But I'm goal setting has become very easy for me. Let's see some other questions. I'm scrolling through here. What's the first step? Beginner's beginning. You know what the first step is? Just take the first step. Commit to doing this simple thing. Download what I'm giving you for free today and start filling it out. That's the first step. Maybe there's an accountability. If you can't afford a coach, maybe there's you can find a true accountability partner. Now, my recommendation is they're not in your family, okay? Because that's not going to be true accountability in most cases. But it's just taking the first step. If you want to do 10,000 steps a day, just take the first step. Lisa, can I move the sofa table behind your sofa? I used to have it like that. But yeah, maybe I'll do that again. Maybe that'll be one of my goals for after this call, Lisa. Thank you. Let me see. Do you think it's important to have an admin? Oh, Glynis, it's interesting. I have virtual people that work for me. I have an awesome virtual business manager who has virtual people that work for her and has a team, and it's just worked fabulous for me. So, I think this depends on the size of the business. It depends on what you do. I believe you're in real estate, and so I think it depends on the size of your business. But potentially having an admin could help you grow your business, because what it does is it allows you to declutter. So you stop doing those things that are really not in your strength zone. You may be comfortable doing them, but it's really clutter. Because in essence, and I do this with my clients and in goal setting, I really ask people, and this is a good question to ask yourself, what are the 3 things in your business, in what you do for a living, that you should, during working hours, be spending 90% of your time doing? What are those activities that you should be doing? Not the ones you are doing now, the ones you should be. What is it? 90% of your time. The rest of the stuff is clutter. So you've got to look at that clutter as you look at it as an option to do, and you go, is this pointing to one of those top 3 things? If it is, what priority should I give it? If it isn't, and you still think it needs to be done in your business, who can I give it to? Or should I lower its priority because I'm the only person that can do it? You need to look at those activities, and those are the people that are on here that I work with. They know it. It's painful going through that transition of decluttering, but once you do it, their effectiveness goes up through the roof, and then you're stretching those arms, and we're going for bigger goals. But you can't reach for the stars when your arms are being held back by clutter. And so I hope that helped. Let's see. Instead of games, learn language. Let me see, is there any more questions? Oh, I see Brenda just posted the playbook for setting and achieving professional goals. Thanks, Brenda. See, I told you she was awesome. Hey, Jack, thanks for joining. Rick Watford, hey. Hey, Bob Claxton, what's up, bro? Let's see, anything else? I'm looking for questions. I had somebody from Greece. Awesome. Mike Lambro, thanks for joining. Yes to leadership, so I'll definitely schedule that. Boss or leader. Thanks, Kim, for shouting out on a book. Book's still doing well. We still have a book for sale. If anybody's interested, you can go to my website, or you can email me, dave@livingtolead.com, and I'll autograph it for you, or maybe for your boss so he reads it and you give it to him anonymously. I've had people do that. It's hilarious. Or as a gift or something like that. And email me, dave@livingtolead.com, and I'll give you a great holiday deal on that. All right, let's see. Good to see you. Hey, Jay. Let's see. Thanks, Lisa. Lisa, I appreciate those comments. You are on my list to call in the next week. I'm looking forward to catching up with you. Thanks, Ray. Hey, Sutter. I got a young one on there, and Sutter joining us. That's awesome. I think he's like maybe 12. I know you coach executives. I guess my question is, do you coach at all levels, such as non-executives? Perhaps someone who feels a bit lost where and how to get where they want to. There's people on this Facebook Live right now that could answer that question for you. The answer is absolutely yes. I say to this about people, when people come to me for coaching, okay, I say, if you are willing to do the work and you can afford it, I will take you as a client. Do I advertise myself as an executive coach? Yes, because corporations will not hire a life coach. But I'd be lying if I told you I didn't do a lot of life coaching. Yep, Amy, I'm sorry, absolutely. So if you reach out to me, dave@livingtolead.com, or you can get me through the website, but you can come direct. James Wooten, thanks for joining me. A long time no see. Hope you're doing well. It's awesome to see some people back home joining. Thank you. I appreciate you following me. It's been a long time for some of us. Karen Waskey. Hey, Karen. All right. Any other questions? I'd love to answer some more questions. I still kind of gave this about an hour, but we don't have to stay on an hour. But if I see any more questions on here at the bottom, add them if you can. I'll jump right on them. But I'll recap a little bit. You can win every single day with my method of setting irreducible minimums. You can win every single day. And how would that feel? See, I want you to have that feeling because I get that feeling. Now, I'm not going to lie. There's a couple pieces of my life that I just can't hit the goals on, so I don't really set them anymore. Is it perfect? No, but boy, I win. If you use the analogy I use with values, you can win every single day just based on your values. And the chances are you can tie your values to what you do for a living. You also could tie your values for what you do outside of your job or outside of your career, or outside of your business. You can use them for everything. But that when you start doing things values-based, it changes your world. It changes your world. I love helping people identify their values and then helping them create goals based on those values, because life changes for those people. It doesn't mean they go out and make millions of dollars, but life changes and things just get better. And when things get better in your life, things get better in your business. All right. Let me see. Any questions? Come on, throw a question. Clay, thanks for joining, buddy. Hey, thank you. Clay, hey, check out Clay's book. It's a great book, too. Clay, my friend, thanks for joining. Sherry, thanks. Amy, you're welcome. I hope it helped. Any other questions? Brenda, can you say amen on Facebook? Values to actions. Yeah, it is. Values is just a... Boy, I wish I would have learned that a long time ago. I wish I would have learned it a long time ago. But it's what you learn after you know it all, they said. I don't remember who said that. I think it was Teddy Roosevelt, I think. A lot of people have claimed it since then, but I think it was Teddy Roosevelt who said that. It's what you learn after we know it all that really counts. And it's important for us to have all this, like this salt and pepper look. We're never too old to learn. I was talking about, some of you might have saw this on Facebook when last week, as of my irreducible minimum on health is 100,000 minimum steps per week. So last week I did 141,000 steps. The bonus was I'm an Audible junkie, so I had the headphones on and I'm listening to books the entire time. So it takes a long time to walk 141 steps. I listened to 4 books last week. 1 book twice. 4 books in a week. You know what nonsense you read that the average business owner and average CEO reads 52 books a week? It's not true. It's just a meme. But what a great way to knock out a couple of goals. Get my steps in, learning at the same time. Learning, I learn so that I get better at what I do for you and for me. But so it's a great way. If you can set your irreducible minimums to knock out more than one goal at a time. And what a great way to do it, right? Makes things easier. So it's working smarter, not harder. We all want to do that, right? So let's see, Dave, thank you for impacting all those you come in contact with. Clay, thank you. You're doing the same thing. Hey, Al, thanks for joining. Okay, any questions? Come on, somebody give me one, at least one more question. Did I miss any on here? I don't think I did. If I did, post your question again, but I don't think I did. Thanks again for joining. The website's livingtolead.com. There's a great blog on there today, and if you go to that blog, you can get my free monthly goals worksheet that I work with all my clients with, including myself. And you also, just out today, my brand new free, F-R-E-E, all you have to do is give me your email address, playbook for setting and achieving goals. I think you'll like it. I hope you'll use it. What books did you read while you took all those steps? Okay, so I got to go to my Audible account. Now, I will tell you this. I can't give you the title of one of them because it wouldn't be real Christian-like. Because I love this book, and I almost didn't buy it because of the title, but it was written by a coach that I respect. And all I will do is I'll tell you the author's name is Gary John Bishop. I cannot repeat the title of the book. But a couple of things. It's got a bad word in the title, which I don't like. And he probably uses that bad word 6 or 7 times in the book. If you can get past that, this is a great book. And it's a great listen because I love him, and he puts so much into what he puts on paper. He puts so much energy into it. I love it when the author. I read a book called Relentless by Tim Grover. Believe it or not, I Purpose-Driven Life again, which I've listened to more times than I can even count. I love me some Rick Warren. I listened again to the 7 Habits of Stephen Covey again. So that you're going to be doing something with business-wise with that. So I was just kind of brushing up on that. So let's see. So what books did you read? So that's it. And I read a lot of stuff. And if you're ever looking for books, just shoot me an email, Dave at livingtolead.com. Yes, Kim, yes, that's it. You got it. Without putting the bad word in there. Thank you. Can you, somebody just said there's some more questions, but I don't see them. Let me see if I missed. Hey, Meredith, good. Hey, my sister Liz. Hey, Liz. Keep it up with the steps. I'm watching it, man. You're doing a great job. Perseverance. I don't see any other questions. Am I missing something? All right, how about somebody give me, hey, Christine, how about somebody give me a good question to end this call with? One more question. While I wait for that question, I'm going to ask you, where are you willing to be relentless next year? Where are you willing to be relentless next year? And I mean relentless. Look it up when we get off this call, Google the definition of relentless, and then ask yourself, what area of my life am I willing to be relentless? I mean, and then ask yourself, what area of my life do I need to be relentless in? Do I need to be relentless in? I know one area of my life I need to be relentless in. I just have to decide if I want to be relentless in that area or not. You can take spokes in and out of your wheels every year in goal setting. So for those of you who know me, know that spoke's been a tough one for me. But so who inspires me? Thanks, James Wooten. I was inspired by the gentleman I had lunch with today. Okay, met him. I told this a little bit earlier. I think Doug's on the call, but Doug's a small business owner. I met Doug in a gym years ago. He's been following me. He recommended me. He's part of an association. He recommended me for a speaking engagement, a large speaking engagement. I wanted to take him to lunch, and we've been trying to put it together for months. I had a lunch with him today, and he just inspired me. Here's a good business leader. He is a great family leader. He was telling me about some of the way he does business with other people in his business. He's a leader in that business. And I don't like the term thought leader. I think too many people in this industry call themselves thought leaders. I would rather be a do leader than a thought leader. He's a do leader. He is a do leader. So Doug, my hand's out to you, man. Thanks for inspiring me. People like that inspire me. And James, look, I have mentors. I'm blessed to, for those of you that know Larry Wingate, I will be on a phone call one-on-one with Larry tomorrow. I've been engaged with Larry now for about 3 years as a mentor, and he's helped me with a lot of different things. And he kicks me in the butt. If you know Larry, he don't go easy on people. I don't want someone to go easy on me. But he's a do leader. And so those are the kind of people that inspire me. The other kind of people that inspire me are community leaders. And I'm not talking about politicians. Most of them do not inspire me. I'm sorry. Okay, most of them, we elect to do a job, and they go out and do what they want to do, and they're self-serving leaders instead of servant leaders. Okay, true servant leaders inspire me. Okay, people that get up every single day and go do things at nonprofits and lead nonprofits and give back to their community and to people inspire me. Not the people on the big stage. Have I paid to be coached by some of those people? Absolutely. Have I been part of some of their teams? Absolutely. One of the things I opened up with this today is, who are you following? When is it time for you to hit and crush your goals? Get the things you want. I say it's now. I say it's now. It's good to follow people, but you should be charting your course, not them. And that's what I'm challenging you to do. So a lot of different people inspire me. That's a great question. I always ask people who inspires them. I always ask people, and I'll ask you all this, who do you know that I need to know? If there are people you know in business and life that I need to know, connect us. Connect us. What can it hurt? Andrea, what do you do the first thing you wake up every morning? So my clients all know this. The first thing I do is read scripture. First thing I do. Every single day, 7 days a week. That's the first thing I do every morning, even before I go tinkle. Okay, it's a habit, and I'm committed to it, and I'm committed to the glory it brings, both back to him and to me. So yeah, thanks. That's a great question. And you know what? Merry Christmas, everybody. If you celebrate it, if you don't, please don't take it the wrong way. But Merry Christmas to everybody. Let me see. Is there any other? Great job on your first live show. Thanks, Brett. Hey, congrats on the new office, man. It's been great watching you grow. It's been great watching you grow. I hope we can connect this year. And we're watching your family grow. I'm watching your business grow. There's so many great benefits of social media, isn't it? Now there's some other things too, but oh, Raymond. Oh, absolutely. Bill Conklin. Oh, man, God, I love that, man. If you see him, give him a hug for me and tell him Merry Christmas. I did get to see him last year. So please, Chili, absolutely. Man, he did so much for me as a kid. All right, let's see. Anybody else? Any other questions? All right, well, thank you for joining me on my first Facebook Live. Would love to hear your comments. You can still post on here, good, bad, how I can do different. What do you want to hear on the next one? Because I'd love to do them now that I am uncomfortable. Maybe the next one I can do from the beach, weather permitting, next week. But would love to do more if you want them, if they are of value to you. And so a couple of ways to contact me, Dave@livingtolead.com, LIVINGTOLEAD.com. That's my email address. Phone 704-907-0171. Because you're on here, I'm giving you my mobile number. And And obviously the website, the free playbook's on there, so go to the blog that was put on the website today. The goal sheet that I use with all my clients. No, the dog didn't eat it, it just got a little wrinkled. Sorry about that. But that means it's been worked on, right? If it was crisp and clean, it'd be useless, right? So, I hope this helped. Would love to hear your feedback, good, bad, ugly. Thank you for joining me. Send emails, calls, whatever you want to do. Stay connected. If you're on this call, I love you. I really do, for giving me the time and for listening and asking questions. And I wish you all a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Be safe. Set some goals. Find out where you're snoozing. Figure out where you're willing to be relentless. Remember that you are wired to win. You are wired to win. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to have bad days, but you are still wired to win. And don't reach for the stars until you stretch your arms far enough to get there. Thank you. Merry Christmas. And if I can help anybody, please reach out. Thank you.